I was eating a sandwich when I saw my Honda Civic for sale on my brother's Facebook. Not a car like mine, my car. Same dent in the rear bumper, same air freshener hanging from the mirror, same license plate number I'd memorized 3 years ago when I bought it. $8,500. One owner, clean title, serious inquiries only. I pulled the registration out of my wallet. The VIN matched, photo for photo, number for number. My parents had called that morning. They needed to borrow my car for a quick grocery run. Dad's truck was in the shop. Just an hour, maybe 2. I'd handed them the keys 6 hours ago. Now my brother was selling it. How do you report a theft when the thieves are your own parents? Drop your time zone in the comments. Where are you watching from right now? And hit that subscribe button because you're going to want to see how this ends. I had 20 minutes left on my lunch break, and I had receipts. Let me back up. I'm the oldest. My brother Ryan is 2 years younger. Growing up, we had very different childhoods in the same house. Ryan got a used Audi for his 16th birthday. Silver, leather seats, sunroof. I got a bus pass and a lecture about how I needed to learn the value of hard work. So I did. I worked 2 jobs through community college. Morning shift at a coffee shop, night shift at a warehouse. I lived on instant ramen and store-brand everything. I tracked every dollar in a spreadsheet. It took me 3 years to save $11,000. When I turned 22, I bought a Honda Civic, used but clean. I paid cash. The title went into my name. No cosigner, no loan, no strings. My parents looked almost disappointed that I didn't need their help. But I'd learned by then. I'd learned the pattern. Dad borrowed my drill sophomore year, gave it to Ryan. Never came back. Mom borrowed my laptop junior year, said she needed it for a recipe. I found it in Ryan's apartment 6 months later. I'd loaned Ryan $200 for what he called an emergency. That was 4 years ago. I'm still waiting. So when I bought that car, I kept everything. The bill of sale, the title, the insurance cards, every oil change receipt. I had a folder on my desk and a backup in the cloud. It was labeled Civic, and I never let anyone else drive it. Until that morning. I should have known better when Mom called. Honey, can we borrow the Civic? Just for an hour. Dad's truck won't start, and we need to grab a few things from the store. I was already at work. It was 8 in the morning. Mom, I need it back by 6. I have to pick up groceries after my shift. Of course, sweetie. We'll have it back way before then. You're a lifesaver. I left the spare key under the mat. They picked it up around 9. At 12:30, I opened Facebook to kill time on my lunch break. That's when I saw it. Ryan's profile. Posted 2 hours ago. Marketplace listing. 2,000 reactions. 37 comments. People asking if it was still available. People offering cash today. I scrolled through the photos. There was the scratch on the passenger door from when I'd clipped a mailbox. There was the bumper sticker I'd been meaning to peel off. There was my registration in the glove box, visible in one of the shots. He hadn't even bothered to remove it. My hands were shaking when I called my mom. Why is my car on Ryan's Facebook? Silence. Mom, why is my car for sale? Oh, sweetie, we were going to talk to you about this. Talk to me? It's already listed. Ryan really needs a car right now. He's got that long commute and with the kids, so buy him a car. That one's mine. Her voice went cold. He needs this more than you do. You live 4 miles from your job. You can take the bus. Stop being selfish. I heard Dad in the background. Just let him have it. We'll figure something out for you later. The line went dead. They'd hung up on me. I walked into the police station on my afternoon break. I need to report a stolen vehicle. The officer looked up from his computer. Mid-50s, bored expression. When was it taken? This morning. My parents borrowed it, and now my brother is selling it without my permission. Do your parents live with you? No, but did you give them the keys? Yes, but only for... Then it's a civil matter. You'll need a lawyer, not a police report. He slid a business card across the counter. Legal aid services. I stood there for a long moment. Then I left. I called Ryan on the way back to work. That's my car. Mom said you agreed to let me have it. I didn't agree to anything. Look, I'm selling it and we'll split the money. You'll get like $4,000. That's more than fair. It's not for sale, Ryan. Too late. I've got 3 people coming to look at it tomorrow. He hung up. I sat in the break room with my head in my hands. Maybe I was being selfish. Maybe they were right. Maybe I should just let it go and take the money. It's just a car. Then I remembered the glove box and the envelope I'd tucked behind the owner's manual. I wasn't going to let this go. Not this time. I opened my cloud drive on my phone. The folder was right there. Civic, 32 files. I pulled up the title. Scanned copy, crystal clear. Owner, my name only. Lion holder, none. VIN, matched the listing. Matched my registration. Matched the plate. I took a screenshot. Then I opened the family group chat. I typed one message. This is my car. My name, my title. The car is not for sale. If it is sold, that is theft under state law. VIN attached for your records. I attached the title. I attached the registration. I attached my insurance card. I hit send. Then I muted the chat and went back to work. An hour later, I checked Facebook. The listing was gone. No replies in the family chat. Just 3 sets of red receipts. I felt a tiny flicker of relief. Then my phone rang. Dad. You just humiliated your brother in front of all his friends. He had 3 people ready to buy that car. He was selling my car, Dad. We're your parents. We asked you for help and you pulled this legal garbage? You owe us some respect. I want my car back. Tonight. We'll talk about it this weekend. He hung up. The listing was down. But my car was still sitting in their driveway. And I had a sinking feeling this wasn't over. The next morning, I got a text from Mom. You lent us the car. That means you didn't need it. We're keeping it here until we work this out. I replied immediately. I need it back today. No, just that. One word, I called. She didn't pick up. I called Dad. Voicemail, I called Ryan. Blocked. That afternoon, my aunt called. I can't believe you're doing this to your brother. He's just trying to provide for his kids and you're threatening to call the police on him? Aunt Marie, he tried to sell my car. It's just a car. He's family. She hung up before I could respond. Then my cousin unfriended me on Facebook. Then my uncle sent a text. Really? You're going to destroy the family over a car? Grow up. I realized what was happening. Ryan was spinning this, playing the victim, telling everyone I was the villain, and it was working. 2 days later, Dad sent an email. Ryan was counting on that $8,500. You tanked the sale. You embarrassed him. If you want the car back, you need to pay us $4,000 to cover what he lost. Otherwise, it stays here. You have until Sunday. After that, Ryan's going private party and we won't stop him. 4 days. They wanted me to pay a ransom for my own car. I sat there staring at the email. I wasn't paying them a dime. But I had 3 days to figure out what I was going to do. Friday morning, a friend sent me a link. Hey, isn't this your car? It was a Facebook group. Local car sales. Private group, 4,000 members. And there was my Civic. Same photos. Same description. But this time, Ryan had written something different. Clean title. I'm the owner. Bought it last year. Moving out of state. Need it gone fast. $7,500 firm. He was claiming he owned it. I took screenshots. The post. The comments. The timestamp. In the comments, someone asked, do you have the title? Ryan replied, yes, title in hand, ready to transfer. That was a lie. I pulled my phone records. Found the log from Mom's call. Then I did some digging. I found an old post in a different car forum, posted by Ryan 3 weeks ago. What's the fastest way to sell a car? Need cash ASAP. Don't want to deal with dealerships. 3 weeks. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. This wasn't about groceries or a broken-down truck. They'd been planning this. The grocery run was bait. The breakdown was a lie. They were always going to take my car, and now I knew exactly why Ryan was so desperate. I just needed to prove it. I reached out to one of Ryan's friends, a guy I'd met a few times at family dinners. He'd always seemed decent. We met for coffee. Look, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, he said. But Ryan's in deep. Credit cards. A payday loan. He's panicking. How deep? Last I heard, $11,000. $11,000. I went home and did a public records search. It took me 10 minutes. There it was. Small claims court. Filed 3 weeks ago. Case number 12,345. A creditor versus Ryan. Amount, $11,240. I sat back. It all made sense now. Ryan owed 11 grand. He couldn't ask his wife because she'd lose it. He couldn't get a loan because his credit was already trashed. So he went to Mom and Dad, and they came up with a plan. Sell my car for $8,500. They'd chip in the rest. Ryan's problem solved. And I'd never have to know, except I saw the listing. I pulled up an old voicemail from Mom. I'd saved it a month ago, but never really thought about it. Your brother's going through a rough patch. We're helping him out. I know you understand. A rough patch. My car was the easy solution. I was the easy mark. I made a call. This ended tomorrow. I called a family law attorney that afternoon. 30-minute consult free. You're the title holder, she said. Legally, the car is yours. You can recover it. I can draft a demand letter or you can go another route. What's faster? Tow company, bring your title and your ID. If your name's on the title, they'll recover it. It's called title holder repossession. How fast? Tomorrow morning if you want. I wanted. I booked a tow company that specialized in recoveries. I explained the situation. They'd done this 100 times. Bring the title. We'll handle the rest. Do you want a police escort? Is that a thing? Civil standby. We request an officer to keep the peace. Costs nothing. Highly recommended. Yes, do that. I spent that night getting everything in order. I got my title notarized. I printed my registration. I printed the insurance card. I filled out an affidavit of ownership. The attorney drafted a cease and desist letter for Ryan. 1 page. Immediate removal of all fraudulent listings claiming ownership of VIN ending in 7429 or face legal action for fraud, defamation, and attempted theft by deception. I printed 3 copies. The tow was scheduled for 9 a.m. Saturday. My parents' address. I didn't call to warn them. They'd had their chance. Saturday morning I was getting my car back. I pulled up to my parents' house at 8:55 a.m. The tow truck was already there. Flatbed, professional. Behind it, a patrol car. I got out. The officer nodded. You the title holder? Yes, sir. Got your documents? I handed him the title, the registration, and the affidavit. He looked them over, handed them back. You're clear. We're here to keep the peace. The front door opened. Mom came running out in her bathrobe. What are you doing? I stayed calm. I'm recovering my vehicle. Here's the title. Officer, this is a civil standby as requested. Dad came out next. Then Ryan. You can't do this, Ryan shouted. The tow driver walked past him. Sir, step away from the vehicle. This is theft. The officer stepped forward. Sir, he's the registered owner. This is a legal recovery. Step back. My dad got in the driver's face. We're not letting you take that car. The driver didn't blink. Then I call another officer and we tow it anyway. Your choice. I walked up to Ryan. I handed him the cease and desist letter. This is from my attorney. Remove every listing where you claim to own this car. If you post another one, or if you claim ownership again, we file for fraud. That's a felony in this state. Do you understand? He stared at me, said nothing. The driver hooked up the car. My mom started crying. We're your family. How can you do this? I looked at her. You stole my car. You lied about it. You tried to sell it. And then you tried to ransom it back to me. That's not what family does. Dad pointed at me. You're going to regret this. The officer cleared his throat. Sir, I'd recommend you stop talking. The car was loaded onto the flatbed. I signed the recovery form. The officer made a note in his pad. No issue here. Title holder recovered their property. You folks have a good day. I got in my car. It was still drivable. They were just transporting it for safety, and followed the flatbed to the drop point. I didn't look back. I had my car, but I knew the fallout was just starting. By noon, every listing was gone. Ryan had scrubbed his Facebook. The marketplace post, the group post, all of it. The family group chat exploded. My parents sent 12 texts in 10 minutes. Anger, guilt, accusations. You've destroyed this family. We'll never forgive you for this. You're dead to us. I muted the chat. Then I wrote one email and sent it to everyone. I will not be lending money, cars, or property to anyone in this family anymore. This boundary is not up for discussion. I love you all, but I have to protect myself. I hope you can understand. I hit send. Then I blocked my parents' number for 72 hours. I needed space. My aunt called 2 days later. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't know the whole story. Ryan told us you just changed your mind about helping him. I didn't know they'd taken the car without asking. Thanks, Aunt Marie. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. My cousin never reached back out. My uncle sent one more nasty text, then went silent. I let them go. A week later, I heard through a mutual friend that Ryan's wife had found out about the debt. She'd seen the court papers when she went looking for the car title after I took the car back. They didn't divorce, but they went to financial counseling. They set up a payment plan. No bankruptcy. But no more bailouts from Mom and Dad either. Ryan got a second job, started paying it down. I didn't gloat. I didn't post about it. I just moved forward. 6 months later, my parents sent an email. We're sorry things went the way they did. We hope you're doing well. No mention of the theft. No real apology. Just a vague acknowledgement that something had happened. I read it twice. Then I archived it. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I still have my car. I also have my peace. I didn't win my family back, but I kept my self-respect. And that's worth more than any relationship built on me being the doormat. Here's what I learned. You can't control how people react when you set boundaries. You can only control whether you hold them. Family doesn't mean free access to your life, your money, or your property. And sometimes the hardest person to stand up to is the one you love. But you deserve to be treated with respect, even by family, especially by family. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to recover something from a family member? How did you handle it? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if this helped you see a tough situation a little more clearly, hit that subscribe button. Sometimes the hardest battles aren't about winning. They're about knowing when to walk away. This story is a fictionalized dramatization and is not legal or financial advice.